Good day to you all and welcome to Simon's Trading Channel. Thank you so much for joining me for another video. It takes 10 minutes. I hope you enjoy it and you get some kind of value out of it. And if you do, like and subscribe. That'd be awesome. Now, let's just dive straight in with the price action analysis. Why wait? Let's not delay things. This is a busy chart, I can hear you thinking. Well, indeed, it's fairly busy, but I think the busyness will become a bit clearer as I explain. So, I've got these, if you've seen some of my videos before, you've seen these $15,000 lines that I draw on, which is purely my own little idea, but it seems to be quite logical. And it basically looks at the bull run from the current macro low around 15,000, and I've just rounded them all up, 30, 45, 60, and 75. And I feel like price has been attracted to those areas, but not only those areas, indeed in between. So the halfway point of that that $15,000 split, you can see how the price has been attracted to the midpoint, as well as the, it's probably least clear in this consolidation period, but was pretty clear to me for this whole run up and then definitely this section. Now, what does that mean? Well, it doesn't mean very much, but like in trading and investing or just looking at charts, you can fill your chart full of indicators if you like, or you can do whatever you like. But what I like to do is look for kind of confluence ideas or logical interpretations of what is happening on the chart, and then see if you can extrapolate from that some kind of overall analysis of what's going on. I mean, you don't have to do that, if you are an investor who's completely interested in just DCAing into whatever it is, Bitcoin or whatever else, then this doesn't really matter. But if you're more interested in how price moves and staring at charts like I do on a daily basis, then you'll understand what I mean. Okay, so the reason the blue lines are on there now is that you can see the midpoint. So this one was at 60. I mean, I've been going on about 60,000 for a long time, and Bitcoin was indeed respecting it for a long time. It hasn't done in the last 2 weeks. Maybe will in the future, but we'll come on to that. Let's not, I don't want to jump my guns. So yeah, 60,000 here, and then 45,000 below. But the midpoint comes in at basically 52. Like it's somewhere between 52 and 53, right? Or 51 and 53. But those kind of low 50s. I mean, if I was to be entirely accurate, I could just get my measuring tool, bung it on. Whoa, try not to disrupt the whole chart. And yeah, you'll see that the midpoint basically is pointing, I wish I could get my finger on the screen, is pointing to the 618 Fibonacci retracement. Interesting, right? It's also around this indecision week, which was part of this massive move up, and it is around where the prices bounced up to at the moment. Now, that to me shows a bit of confluence. Now, the reason why that the 618 is important on the Fibonacci retracement, well, let me just show you what I've used as the Fibonacci retracement to begin with. So I've taken basically the last move of this impulsive move up, which I think started with this wick, came up to this wick, and then has basically consolidated. Still may do, but this week is probably looking like a proper break of that consolidation area. But it's only Monday, right? I have to bear that in mind. There's not a weekly closure to reference yet. So I'm looking at a candle that may or may not look like that when it closes later on this week, or in fact in 6 days time. So there's a lot of time to pass. But you can see the pullback of that move there. And so far, the 60,000 was basically the 382, so there's confluence there. The 0.5 was around sort of 56, which gave support for this weekly closure for a bounce. And then the 618 is 52, which is basically there. So that pulls in upward in buying pressure or whatever you want to call it, but the pause in upward movement of the price along this impulsive move up. And indeed, Bitcoin has, for now, got some support there. So it wicked all the way down to 49.50, which also coincides to this wick high over here, and it's bounced pretty much just above the 618 retracement. So the 618 retracement is the Fibonacci number, really. It's you don't have to take my word for this. You can put into chat GPT. That'll give you a good explanation. But Fibonacci is all about Fibonacci sequence, which is 0, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 12, blah blah blah, on for to infinity, which is the next number, is a result of the sum of the previous two. Okay, now the ratio of 618 occurs in nature, and it's what happens when you divide the current number by the next one, so you get a ratio of 0.618, and the reciprocal is 1.618. So that's how you get the 618. Now, the other numbers, 0.5 isn't a Fibonacci number, but the 382, and then if you put the other two on as well, they are sort of derivatives of the 618 ratio, the Fibonacci ratio. And so basically, that ratio, the 1.6 or the 0.6, whatever, however you want to look at it, one's just a reciprocal of the other, occurs in nature. It seems to occur on charts, and it's just one of those things. No one knows why, it just does. Now, well, maybe someone knows why. I don't know why, and I haven't seen any convincing argument that would suggest why, and I can't think of one that would suggest why, but it does seem to show support. And so because it's a retracement, it's about the pullback from a trending move, which I think you'd agree this whole move up here was trending, and I'm taking, this is when it gets subjective. You have to have a point of reference for the bottom and the top of the part that you are going to put a Fibonacci retracement onto. So I've taken it from there to there, which is basically the lowest part, the lowest wick to the highest wick of this last move up. Now that might be incorrect, but that's the way I'm doing it. And price has indeed come down and has got some support around the 618. If the trend is going to reverse, then you need 100% retracement, which obviously would occur with price back down here at 38.5. I would argue probably more significantly around the midpoint of this range, which would be around 37. Now, if that happened, in my humble opinion, that is end of bull run. Now, I might be wrong, but that to me would be hard to argue against this bull run has done, and we'll see what happens, but potentially another bear market. But until then, particularly if Bitcoin can get sustained support around the 618 area, I would feel fairly confident that this is just a big pullback within the bull market uptrend. And you can kind of do it on a monthly too. So if I just scrap all this, get rid of all my hard work. Oh, I've got to move myself. Wait a minute. Whoa! So if I just delete all 8 drawings, and if I stick it on a monthly chart, I'll leave myself in the middle for now. It's just quite amusing. the monthly looks a bit different, right? And I don't know if you agree with this, but if I was doing a Fibonacci retracement of the monthly, I'd take it from that low and go up to the current all-time high. And you can see the price perfectly, if indeed I've put that on correctly, and it is subjective, perfectly retraced to the 0.5, which isn't technically a Fibonacci number, but it's certainly used by traders as a point of reference. And that's already been tapped. Now the monthly 618 would be significantly lower, around 43,000. But that still would be within the realms of what I described as my, if you like, line in the sand for end of bull run, which was a full retracement of price getting back down towards somewhere between 37 and 38,000. And, you know, price is quite a way away from there, but significantly closer than it was about a week ago. And that, to me, just makes simple sense. It makes simple sense. Now, this is a long video already, and I haven't even addressed any of the lower time frames, so I'll do that super quick. And I hope, while, you know, there's not a lot to say, daily downtrend will remain as such. I mean, so just if you just look at this section, right? Just look at this section from this high. So on a daily time frame, you got a high. You could argue that's a high, but let's just ignore it. High, a low, a lower high. You know, wherever this decides to turn up will be a lower low until Bitcoin gets back above here, but then turns back up and starts to trend in the opposite way. So what I mean is Bitcoin could do this quite easily, and I think it probably will retest around these lows at sort of 55.5. If it then failed to get back below the current low, which would inevitably be wherever it decides to bounce from, but in this example, it's just where it is now. If it then fails to produce, that would be a lovely double bottom. If it then fails to get back above wherever the next lower high occurs, then it's more downside. But, you know, that's just simple trend analysis, right? There's nothing complicated there. But for now, it's hard to look at the daily time frame and see anything other than continuation. What about the 4 hour? Very quickly, 13 minutes is one of my longest videos ever. See, the 4 hour has already retested this area. And is hovering around here, having tapped that high. So a period of consolidation around here would look, I'd say would look, that would probably be the best outcome at the moment for Bitcoin. But clearly more upside above 55.5, more or less, and more downside below 49. Oh, I didn't expect to be saying that today. But, you know, you just have to do what the chart is telling you to do, and don't decide in your mind what you should think, what you want to happen. Just do what the chart's telling you, and you won't go far wrong. What else was I going to do? I'll just quickly check in with momentum. The MACD, where is Mr. MACD? Bear with me for 1 second. So I won't bother taking off the moving average. So you can see it's going to continue falling below 54 on the 4 hour. The daily will continue falling. The daily's got a lot of work to do. There's not much point in referencing that at the moment. The weekly is still to the upside, Whoa, nice straight line, Simon. And will continue to be the upside for quite some time. I still wouldn't pay too much attention to this cross below the zero line value because it's still a fair way away. And remember, that only moves once a week. So there's a lot left of this week to go. There we go, end of video, 15 minutes. Thank you. If you've stayed to the end, good for you. And if you've enjoyed it, you found it useful, then join me tomorrow because I'll be doing another one. But I think it might be a bit shorter. Take care, and I'll see you tomorrow.